Hi, I'm Paul Hutchinson. Welcome to the 13th episode on pistol shooting. What we're going to look at today is single-handed shooting. This week we're going to cover with our strong hand. Next week we're going to use single-handed with our weak hand. So what is the technique that we're looking at? A couple of vital, important elements that we're going to discuss. The first thing that people have this tendency to do when they're single-handed is the first thing they'll do is actually claw down with the thumb. We don't want to do that. We know we don't want to do that. We discussed all of that in episode 3 and the reasons why we never want to bring our thumb down. The next thing what we've got to make sure that we're doing is we're actually bending forward from our midriff here and we're leaning into it. The reason why we're doing that is to get more aggression behind the recoil impulses. We're not using our support hand, which we know is the recoil control hand. So what we've got to do is make sure that we're using all of our body and getting behind it in order to do that. Now what you might find here is if you're shooting in a weaver stance, that you're going to have a drama with this particular technique. As soon as you lean forward, your body's resisting against it. It's not actually designed in that way. So all you've got to do is a quick get out of that is just step back with that front foot, in my case my left foot, so that I can bring more into a CQB stance and I'm more square on or isosceles stance, whichever term you want to use. So I'm bent over, I've got the aggression behind it, and I'm still, as you can see, my thumb is directly in a fluid forward motion. Alright, now what people have this tendency to say here is, especially in the practical world, is they'll put their hand on their chest as the support in order to do that, and it works for competition shooting. But the reality of it is, we aren't in the competition world. What we're looking at here is the reason why we're shooting with one hand is because this hand is doing something else. It's controlling the VIP. It's opening a door. It's whatever the reason is. If it was free, it would be on the gun. Simple as that. But it's not. So we've got to practice the technique. The technique's, like you're saying, just there. It's quite simple, okay? So let's go over it again. What we're looking at is if you're standing in a weaver stance, you've got to get into it, make sure your thumbs aren't clawed down, lean into it, get as much aggression behind the weapon as you can, physically. If you are in that weaver stance, you've got to step back, okay? That will allow you naturally, as you can see there, to be able to do it. And this hand will not be on our chest supporting it, because we've got to get into that habit of being able to shoot the weapon without having it on our chest, because like I say, it does work, that little technique. The only time I could imagine you actually using that is if this hand is actually injured and you can't actually put it on there, you might bring it into your body. Okay. Strong hand, single-handed shooting. Next week, like I say, we're going to discuss single-handed with your support hand though. I'm Paul Hutchinson, thanks for watching, see you next week.